Right then, ladies and gentlemen, I made a video a month or two ago about my concerns for the Dynasty Warriors 3 remaster. It looks like, after watching the recent footage of the gameplay, those concerns were mostly unfounded. This looks and plays like Dynasty Warriors 3 with some quality of life improvements from what I can see. I am glad. I am so glad. I did not want to be proven right, I wanted to be proven wrong. This doesn't look like a Dynasty Warriors Origins reskin with like a Dynasty Warriors 3 coat of paint. This looks like Dynasty Warriors 3. The only part of it that doesn't look like Dynasty Warriors 3 are the enemy soldiers. However, they've still done a really good job at it, because I've noticed in the footage that the soldiers do have their original weapons. They've got the spears, the halberds, the swords, and they are using the original moveset, which means most likely, especially at higher difficulties, the enemy soldiers will have their own combos. Whereas in modern Dynasty Warriors, they rarely do more than one attack. They just surround you, stand there, look at you for half an hour, and then they come in, they do one attack, and then they die. The maps look like the original, the UI, the menu, everything looks like the original, the character select looks like the original, the music is the original. It doesn't even sound like they've tried to do a remaster of the music. They've just kept the original music. Thank God. In fact, what I noticed when they were fighting against enemy soldiers in this, even the enemy soldiers make the original sort of battle grunts, those sound effects when they get hit, as the original. This is making me very hopeful that the original Dynasty Warriors 3 English voice will be in there, because I know it was terrible, but that's what made Dynasty Warriors 3 so great, was the utterly awful voice acting. Now, I don't know if the Japanese voice is the original Japanese narrator and the original Japanese voices for the characters. I don't know. If they are, great. If not, it's not that big of a deal. If they do decide to change the voice actors, especially for the English version, and it sounds more like Dynasty Warriors 9 or Origins, yes, it's going to ruin it a bit. But I'm not that bothered. It will lose some of its charm, but ultimately, the gameplay looks and feels like Dynasty Warriors 3, which is exactly what I wanted. Now, there are some quality of life improvements that I noticed in there as well. Being able to pick up items from a distance. There's a part where he kills an enemy officer, he drops a defense up, and it sort of goes flying across the battlefield into him, like in modern Dynasty Warriors games. It shows the enemy officers recharging their health. They always did this in the original game, but there was never any indication of progress on that. They would just sort of stand there, have some particle effects around them, and then boom, they've recovered all their health. There seems to be different shades for the officer tokens on the overview map, likely indicating the main officers and the minor officers. This is good quality of life change, because the minor officers in the original just sort of blended in with the red or blue blob on the map. You never knew where they were. They've kept the original like morale system, the troop bar system, the weapons. I'm not sure if the weapon system is exactly the same as it was. I can't read Japanese, so I'm not sure if this is the original Dynasty Warriors 3 system, where you would get new weapons and pick the weapons, or if this is more like, I believe, the Dynasty Warriors 4 system. I think it was Dynasty Warriors 4 that introduced it, where you have one weapon, but it upgraded as you went. The fact that he does pick up a weapon in the actual footage, though, leads me to think that it is the original. They have the original item system, and they have the bodyguard system. Now, my main concern with the bodyguard system before, I knew it was going to be in the game, because they did say it was going to be, was if the enemy AI wasn't very good, it wasn't very aggressive, then the bodyguards would be utterly useless. But from the footage, it kind of just looks like the enemy soldiers are similar to the Dynasty Warriors 3 AI. There's not too many on the screen, but they had the combos, they had the right weapons, everything looks great. And honestly, this makes me hopeful for it. I'd like to see more, and it also makes me very hopeful for a Dynasty Warriors 4 or 5, especially 5, because 5 was my favourite game of all time. Remaster. I want them to do all 3 of the Golden Era Dynasty Warriors games. Overall, I'm glad that I was proven wrong. I'm now actually kinda hyped for this game.